website works is I was trying to think, how can I make people who want to talk to the press find me? One of the things they might put into Google is talk to the press, or how do I talk to the press? Other things they might put in is sell my story, I want to sell a story, all these sorts of things. So this website reacts to those searches in Google, and it comes up. People fill out this form here, or they send us an email, and it arrives in your inbox. And suddenly, you've got what is potentially a story. So the very first story that arrived through this website, about the day after it went live, was a kiss and tell story on a Premiership footballer. And obviously I saw this. I'd never handled anything like a kiss and tell story before, and I hadn't even worked for papers like the News of the Bar before, and I was amazed, thinking, it's a really famous footballer, thinking, oh my goodness, this is going to be a massive story. Unfortunately, the girl didn't have any proof, so the story quickly fell down and came to nothing. But it gave me an idea of, it gave me hope that setting up this website would work. So now we get around 8 to 12 stories each day, which is everything from, we get very few kiss and tell stories. Most things we get are people talking about their miracle babies, or people talking about incredible weight loss, their own personal journeys. Perhaps they've escaped, moved on from domestic violence, to people who are key players in main news stories, and they come to us when they've got all the papers knocking on their door and they don't know what to do. And when this website launched, I think because of its name, domain name, Talk to the Press, which is quite catchy, I guess, but it got a lot of press attention, which was something I wasn't expecting because I hadn't approached it with a big business plan. And there were write-ups in The Guardian and in the Press Gazette, and I went on to BBC Breakfast and onto Radio 4 to talk about it. And the general conclusion of all the people who wanted to talk to me was that I was operating between the worlds of journalism and PR, which at first I thought, well, that's quite an odd thing to say because I'm a journalist and I'm a feature writer, and this is nothing to do with PR. But the more time went on, the more I realised that's right. I mean, we are generally, most of the time, journalists who write up people's stories for a magazine or a newspaper. But when we get a big news story, we then move into the realms of what someone like Max Clifford would do, where all the papers are interested in the story, we put the story out to all the papers, and we start bidding more for that story. We do the same thing with magazines, and that is a PR job. Apart from, unlike a PR, we then write the story as well. So they are actually right to say that it's between the two worlds of journalism and PR.